Have you ever wondered how much courage, determination, and sheer audacity it took for the famous explorers of yesteryears to embark on their perilous journeys into the unknown? These were men and women who dared to dream, dared to challenge the status quo, and dared to venture into unexplored territories, facing insurmountable odds and unimaginable dangers. They were not just explorers, they were visionaries, pathfinders, and pioneers who dared to defy the known boundaries of their world. Exploration is an inherent part of human nature. It's the quest for knowledge, for discovery, for understanding the world around us. It's the curiosity that drives us to push beyond our comfort zones, to journey into the unknown, to unravel the mysteries of the universe. It's this spirit of exploration that has shaped human history, that has led to some of the most significant discoveries and advancements in science, technology, and civilization. Consider the epic journeys of Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, or Marco Polo. These were not mere voyages, they were quests. Quests that were fraught with peril, but also filled with promise. Quests that tested the limits of human endurance and resilience, but also offered the potential for unparalleled reward. Quests that pushed the boundaries of the known world and opened up new horizons of discovery and understanding. These explorers were not just seeking new lands or new trade routes, they were seeking knowledge, understanding, and enlightenment. They were driven by a desire to uncover the mysteries of the world, to push the boundaries of human understanding, to challenge the accepted norms and conventions, and to chart new paths for future generations. Their journeys were not just physical expeditions, they were metaphysical journeys of the mind and spirit. They were journeys of discovery and self-discovery, journeys that challenged the limits of human potential, and journeys that redefined our understanding of the world and our place in it. So, what motivated these explorers to take on such daring quests? What drove them to venture into the unknown, to face the perils and uncertainties of uncharted territories? What inspired them to push the boundaries of their world, to challenge the accepted norms and conventions, to defy the odds and make history? Join us as we navigate through the uncharted territories of history, exploring the epic journeys of some of the world's most famous explorers. Picture this. The year is 1492, and a determined Christopher Columbus sets sail from Spain, his eyes set on a westward route to the spice-rich Indies. Our story begins on a Spanish dock where three ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina, bob gently in the harbor. At their helm stands a man, not tall but full of resolve. Christopher Columbus. He's a man with a daring plan. To find a new route to the Indies not by sailing around Africa, but by heading west, into the unknown. This journey is not without its challenges. The sailors battle fierce storms, unforgiving winds, and the relentless undulating waves of the Atlantic. They fight against scurvy, a cruel disease born of vitamin deficiency that turns strong men into weak, frail shadows. But Columbus, ever the steadfast captain, keeps morale high, his eyes firmly fixed on the western horizon. After 5 long weeks at sea, a cry echoes from the crow's nest. Land, Columbus and his crew have arrived, but this is not the spice-rich Indies they expected. Instead, they find a land full of strange plants, unusual animals, and people who look and speak differently than anyone they've ever encountered. They have, unwittingly, stumbled upon a new world, a continent that would later be known as the Americas. This discovery has far-reaching impacts. It opens up new trade routes, new lands for colonization, and ignites a wave of exploration that sweeps across Europe. It changes the course of history, reshaping the world as we know it. But let's not forget the darker side of this journey. The arrival of Europeans brings disease, conflict, and the displacement of native peoples. It's a reminder that exploration, while often driven by curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge, can also lead to unintended and devastating consequences. Even though Columbus never reached his intended destination, his journey opened up a new world for the Europeans. And that's the complex legacy of Christopher Columbus, a man who dared to venture into the unknown and in doing so, changed the world forever. Fast forward to the year 1497, and we find Vasco da Gama embarking on a daring journey around the Cape of Good Hope to reach India. Da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, was not just propelled by curiosity of the unknown, but also by the tantalizing lure of spices, silk, and precious stones that were known to originate from the East. This was a time when the world map was a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, and the East was one such enigmatic piece. Setting sail with 4 ships, da Gama's voyage was no pleasure cruise. The Atlantic and Indian Oceans were uncharted waters, filled with unpredictable weather, treacherous currents, and the ever-present threat of scurvy. Yet Da Gama and his crew persevered, their eyes set firmly upon their goal. After months of battling the elements, they finally rounded the Cape of Good Hope, a feat that was as symbolic as it was geographic. They were treading where no European had ventured before, bridging the gap between the known and the unknown, the west and the east. But the journey was far from over. Da Gama and his men had to navigate through unknown coastlines, interact with alien cultures, and negotiate with powerful rulers, all while battling dwindling supplies and a weary crew. Finally, in May 1498, after nearly a year at sea, Da Gama and his weary crew arrived at Calicut, India. The sight of the Indian coastline was not just a relief, but a testament to their resilience and determination. They had opened a sea route from Europe to the east, a route that would change the course of trade and history. The journey was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but Da Gama's determination and tenacity saw him through. He returned to Portugal a hero, his name forever etched in the annals of exploration. Da Gama's journey, filled with adversity and triumph, marked a significant milestone in the age of discovery. His voyage showed the world that the East was not just a dream, but a reality that could be reached, touched, and experienced firsthand. Rewind to the 13th century, and a young Marco Polo is about to embark on an epic journey along the Silk Road, opening a window to the mysterious East. Picture this: a young Venetian merchant, barely 17, sets off with his father and uncle on a journey that will take them through the harsh deserts, towering mountains, and bustling markets of Asia. This is Marco Polo, and his journey along the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes stretching from China to the Mediterranean, would become one of the most legendary in history. Marco Polo's journey was fraught with danger, but it was also filled with wonder. He marveled at the grandeur of the Mongol Empire's capital, Karakoram, and the wealth of the great Khan's court. He was astonished by the size of the cities, the sophistication of the culture, and the strange and exotic products that were traded along the Silk Road. Yet it wasn't just the sights that captivated Marco Polo, it was the people. He spent 17 years in the service of Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler who welcomed him with open arms. Marco Polo learned the language, adopted the customs, and even served as an official in the Khan's court. His detailed accounts of life in the East gave Europeans a glimpse into a world they knew little about. His journey also facilitated a cultural exchange. He brought back to Europe stories of paper money, coal, gunpowder, and a postal system. These were concepts and innovations that would eventually shape the course of European history. But perhaps Marco Polo's greatest legacy was the sense of curiosity he ignited. His tales of the East, filled with wonder and mystery, stirred the imaginations of those who heard them. They sparked a desire to explore, to discover, to understand the world beyond the familiar. Marco Polo's journey not only enriched European knowledge of the world, but also stirred a curiosity that would inspire future explorers. This is the story of the Silk Road, a story of adventure, discovery, and the power of curiosity. These extraordinary journeys of exploration weren't just about discovering new lands, they were about the indomitable human spirit, about bridging cultures, and about the pursuit of knowledge. The grandeur of these explorations transcends geographical boundaries and cultures, casting a profound impact on the annals of human history. The explorers we've journeyed with today weren't just mere travelers, they were pioneers, visionaries, and risk-takers, daring to cross the thresholds of the known world, driven by a potent mix of curiosity, courage, and ambition. Their tireless pursuits gave birth to a new world order, one where the East met the West, where cultures intermingled, and where trade and commerce flourished. The Silk Road, for instance, wasn't just a network of trade routes, it was the artery of cultural exchange, a vibrant lifeline that connected civilizations, fostering a cross-fertilization of ideas, art, religion, and language. Through their arduous journeys, these explorers shaped our understanding of the world. They challenged prevailing notions, broke down barriers of ignorance, and paved the way for scientific progress. Their discoveries sparked a thirst for knowledge that continues to inspire researchers, scientists, and adventurers even today. But perhaps the most lasting impact of these explorations is the legacy they've left behind. A legacy of courage, resilience, and an unquenchable spirit of discovery. It's a legacy that reminds us of our shared humanity, our collective quest for understanding, and our innate ability to push past boundaries, to seek, to explore, and to discover. These explorers have etched their names in the sands of time, not just for the lands they discovered, but for the spirit they embodied, a spirit that continues to resonate in the hearts of those who dare to dream, to journey into the unknown, and to leave their own mark on the world. As we journey through the annals of history, we realize that it's the explorers, the risk-takers, who've truly shaped our world. These narratives of exploration remind us that the spirit of discovery is indeed a defining characteristic of humanity.